Etsy search is about to change. I was just listening to the Etsy CEO, Josh Silverman, talking about the Bernstein 40th Annual Strategic Decisions Conference. This was about an hour long, and combined with the 52nd Annual JP Morgan Global Technology Media and Communications Conference, that's a mouthful, there's been a lot of fun nuggets to unpack, several of them about the Etsy search. But this really exciting one stood out to me and I wanted to share. Josh has told us the way they're planning to test how we see the Etsy search page, and he suggested this change would happen this year. And as Etsy don't tend to do big changes in Q4, I imagine we'll be seeing this sooner rather than later. So I had to make a quick video about this. In the Q1 investors report, which I covered with Brian a little while back, Josh started hinting this, saying there was a place for all sorts of different types of handmade things on Etsy, but customers wanted to know how handmade the things were. Is it AI generated? Is it print on demand? Was it made by a crafter? But there were no real details in this. But in this webinar, right at the end, Josh had an exciting hint. Firstly, all the duplicate things. When you search, there are so many items that are almost identical. Josh said they would only show the one best one in search.
And if we've got 3 things that are substantially similar, which is the best? And let's only show this.
This will be good for the customer and hopefully for the one seller who's chosen. Hopefully it will reduce the number of people copying their competitors' listings, because hopefully it'll mean that that one initial listing will be being shown. This is assuming that Etsy understands identical listings rather than just similar items, and that it does pick the best listing. It would be horrible if someone stole your designs and then Etsy hid your listing and only shows the copycat. I think we'll have to keep a close eye out, and if sales of our big sellers drop, we have to check and see if there's a copycat and get them taken off Etsy ASAP by reporting them. Josh also talked about AI, explaining the difference between items. This one is cheaper, but this one has higher quality materials. This may have something to do with why in the jewellery category we're seeing materials available under the listing. Finally, and most excitingly, he talked about how you want to understand how different items comply with different parts of the handmade policy. That was in the JP Morgan talk, because in real stores you don't see all different types of things mushed together. He talked about how Etsy had an opportunity to organise better. And in the Bernstein call, he went further.
We may also want to organize search. So it's not just 30 listings, but maybe you're seeing, for example, carousels of these items are all digital. These items are all particularly artisanal. These items are print on demand, or different ways of organizing things and things that might make more sense to customers.
A carousel? I never even imagined that. That could be interesting. I'm actually excited to see this. And this hopefully will address the issue with artists competing with AI artists and things like that. Obviously, how well it works will depend on how well it's implemented, and the first iteration we see will be the worst. But let me know what you think. I'm quietly hopeful. I think at the moment we can work on making sure our listings are very clearly filled out, all the relevant attributes, categories, materials, all of that filled in. Make sure our descriptions clearly tell the story about what is special about our listings, and don't just try and copy the industry leader in your niche. Make better, cooler, unique things. But over to you, what do you think? And if you've not already, you want to subscribe to this channel, as I'm going to be unpicking all the other interesting nuggets from both these calls, including how search could be becoming less important, and is Etsy going to be showing us our listing quality score? Oh, and they're rebuilding the search algorithm. But that possibly doesn't mean what you think it does.